Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu visits Gabon Special Economic Zone in Libreville. Union Cabinet approves expanding the mandate of GEM Special Purpose Vehicle to allow procurement by cooperative as buyers. Passenger train service Mithali Express flagged off between India and Bangladesh. UTLA militants surrender in Manipur. And Meghalaya government's project gets international recognition. A very good evening, viewers, and welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Saraswati Singh bringing to you the stories in detail. After a successful visit to Gabon, the Vice President planning for Senegal, the second destination of his three-nation tour, he was bid farewell by the PM of Gabon, Raponda, the Foreign Minister Michael Moussa Adamo, and other dignitaries at the Libreville Airport, Gabon. The Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today visited the Gabon Special Economic Zone in Libreville and interacted with the business community. More than 50 Indian companies are present in GCES. Naidu discussed their experience and expectations and exhorted them to work for the strengthening of Indo-Gabon economic relationship. The Vice President was happy that major Indian festivals are celebrated by entire community together. The Union Cabinet today approved expanding the mandate of Government e-Marketplace GEM to allow procurement by cooperatives as buyers. Briefing media in New Delhi, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said the move will help cooperatives in getting competitive prices through open and transparent process. He said over 8.54 lakh registered cooperatives and their 27 crore members will benefit.
सरकारी प्रोक्योरमेंट के लिए जिसका उपयोग किया गया और आज हम ये कह सकते हैं कि सरकारी प्रोक्योरमेंट के क्षेत्र में जेम पोर्टल एक युगांतकारी सुधार लेकर आया है और ये युगांतरकारी सुधार मैं इसलिए भी कह रहा हूं क्योंकि जिस पैमाने पर इस प्लेटफॉर्म का उपयोग किया गया है, जहां पर गुड्स हो, सर्विसेज हो, वस्तुओं और सेवाओं का प्रोक्योरमेंट भी की जाती है,
Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnav and Bangladesh Railway Minister Mohammad Nurul Islam Sujon flagged off Mithali Express between New Jalpaiguri and Dhaka via video conferencing. Speaking on the occasion, Vaishnav said the relationship between India and Bangladesh is based upon shared heritage, shared present and shared future between the two countries. The development that both the countries having is today accelerated in a very big way by the warm friendship between the two nations at all levels. Vaishnav said Mithali Express will be yet another milestone in increasing friendship, in strengthening this bond, in improving the relationship. The Dhaka-Jalpaiguri Express is the third Bangladesh-India passenger train service. The train will use the Chilati-Haldibari rail link and will run from New Jalpaiguri in West Bengal, India to Dhaka Cantonment Railway Station in Bangladesh, covering a distance of 513 kilometers.
It's based upon our shared heritage, our shared present and our shared future. The development that we have in both the countries, which is today accelerated in a very big way by the warm friendship between the two nations at all the levels, at the topmost level between the two honorable prime ministers, at the ministers levels, at the officers levels and at people's levels. This train, the Mithali Express, will be yet another milestone in increasing this friendship, in strengthening this bond, in improving this relationship.
The two-day National Education Ministers' Conference begins in Gandhinagar, Gujarat today. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has inaugurated this conference, which is being participated by other union ministers and education ministers of state and union territories. Speaking on the occasion, Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan said that the deliberations during this two-day conference will help in implementing and enhancing the vision of the National Education Policy 2020. He said that the deliberations will also help in strengthening the education ecosystem in the country. Information and Broadcasting Ministry Secretary Apurva Chandra today said the convergence between direct-to-mobile and 5G broadband will improve consumption of broadband and utilization of spectrum in India. He was speaking at a conclave on direct-to-mobile and 5G broadband convergence roadmap for India organized by IIT Kanpur and TSDSI at All India Radio in Delhi. He said India has one of the largest mobile data numbers in the world. He termed it as a success of India's telecom operators that they have been able to provide one of the cheapest data in the world in India. He said almost everybody now is consuming video content through their mobiles. He said news can be seen on mobile through apps, and even Prasar Bharati has its own News on Air app, which has a large consumer base.
Every second equivalent to 60 billion DVDs in a month. This is huge, huge data, and I'm sure that this must be consuming almost everything in our whatever the broadband infrastructure we have created in 4G.
2-month-long Har Ghar Dastak campaign 2.0 gets underway today. The objective of this mega COVID vaccination drive is to achieve optimal coverage among all eligible beneficiaries and accelerate the pace of vaccination. The campaign will continue till the 31st July this year across states and union territories. The Union Health Ministry said that COVID-19 vaccination of all beneficiaries due for the second dose and eligible for precaution dose would be emphasized through door-to-door vaccination drive. Vaccination coverage of children aged 12 to 18 years will also be undertaken through a school-based campaign. Emphasis will be given to focus campaigns in old age homes, schools, colleges, prisons and brick kiln, among others. In Manipur, altogether 14 militants belonging to the United Tribal Liberation Army, James faction, surrendered today before Chief Minister N. Biren Singh. The UTLA rebels brought 5 sophisticated rifles, 3 SBBL guns, 3 handguns, 1 hand grenade and other explosive materials. The surrender function was held in the 1st Manipur Rifles Banquet Hall in Imphal, Manipur. Chief Minister Singh welcomed the group of surrendered militants. A Meghalaya government's initiative to swiftly implement various development projects has got international recognition with a Geneva-based organization honoring State Chief Minister Conrad Sangma for the project. The Meghalaya Enterprise Architecture project being implemented by the Planning Department of Meghalaya government was recognized by the United Nations World Summit on the Information Society Forum 2022. The Meghalaya Enterprise Architecture project was adjudged the best project in the category of the role of the government in the promotion of ICTs for development. Chief Minister Sangma received the honor at an event held in Geneva. Japanese Deputy Chief of Mission in India, Kawazu Kunihiko, met the Deputy Chief Minister of Preston Tinsong to discuss projects that Japan has sanctioned through Japan International Cooperation Agency in the state. Speaking to the reporters after the meeting, Preston Tinsong informed that Japanese language will be introduced in Nehu very shortly to understand the culture of Japan and to strengthen the ties between two countries. On the other hand, Kawazu Kunihiko said that both Meghalaya government and Japanese government is keen to strengthen the relationship in tourism and trade sector. The Bharatiya Janata Party Nagaland State Unit launched the Seva, Sushashan and Garib Kalyan plan to commemorate the successful 8 years of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government by flagging off bike and car rally by special guest Kuhoi Zimomi, former DMC member at Holohon Petrol Station, Dimapur today. The rally was routed to Sukhovi Railway Station and back to Patkai Bridge, 4-lane road 1 mile towards Assam, which was both constructed during the BJP government at the centre. The program was chaired by Kashito Kiba, convener, State Professional Cell, while brief introduction was given by Benjamin Yepthomi, Vice President and co-convener Organising Committee. Arunachal Pradesh government's ambitious scheme for doorstep delivery of government services, Sarkar Aapke Dwar, has benefited thousands. Chief Minister Pema Khandu today in a tweet shared a video on how the government's initiative helped thousands of people in availing government's welfare measures.
ये जो ऑफिस को आपका बेनिफिशियरी और आपका ये कंज्यूमर का डोर में पहुंचाने का ये काम किया है.
जनरल चेकअप कर रहे हैं पेशेंट लोग का विद वी आर गिविंग फ्री मेडिसिन ऑल्सो ऑल द मेडिसिन आर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट एंड देन वी आर
Indian women's shooting team of 11-il Valor Raven, Shreya Agarwal and Ramita have bagged a gold medal for India in the 10-meter air rifle women's team event at the ISSF World Cup 2022 in Baku. This was India's first medal at the ongoing ISSF World Cup in Baku yesterday. The trio from India defeated Denmark 17-5 in the gold medal match. Tokyo Olympian 11-il Valor Raven shot above 10 in all the 11 series in the final. Researchers have traced the Great Assam earthquake to complex tectonics of the northeastern fringe of the Indian in the eastern Himalaya and the Indo-Burma ranges and the interactions between the two, which can produce deeper earthquakes in IBR and crustal ones in the eastern Himalaya. The northeastern fringe of the Indian plate in the eastern Himalaya has been found to be seismically active up to about 40 km depth, while the seismicity in the Indo-Burma ranges is observed up to a depth of around 200 km. They have suggested that this seismic structure forms a complex tectonics which produced the Great Assam earthquake of 1950 and may be building up stress for a future earthquake. The Great Assam earthquake is the largest intracontinental earthquake ever recorded, which was located at the India-China border near the Mishmi Hills of Arunachal Himalaya. And to end the news, the main points once again. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu visits Gabon Spatial Economic Zone in Libreville. Union Cabinet approves expanding the mandate of GEM, Special Purpose Vehicle, to allow procurement by cooperative as buyers. Passenger train service Mitali Express flagged off between India and Bangladesh. UTLA militants surrender in Manipur. And Meghalaya government's project gets international recognition. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.